fine wild ones, it's Bernadette, and I'm here with your Pick a Card Tarot reading for Wednesday, May 26, 2021. If you're new here, welcome to the Metaphysical Madness. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell so you get all of your alerts and notifications. A lot goes on around these parts, and you don't want to miss a thing. Also, if you are one of my longtime subscribers, you know I love you. And if you have not gotten over to my personal forums, which is wildpackwisdom.com/forums, please do so. It's where I hang out. It's where I answer all questions and comments. And it's a super safe, very welcoming, very warm community run by moi and my moderators. And yeah, it's super cool. So get on over there. All right. So let's get to the reading today. I'm going to hold this up. It's a hint about what's coming. You might notice my arm is crooked down here. I'm about to unveil. It's not a surprise for most of you. Well, I don't know. I don't know how many people saw it actually the first time, but when I posted on Facebook, a picture of it on Facebook. But this, let me just get to it. So this is my brand new drum that my beautiful, amazing goddess friend, Catherine Skaggs painted for me. Catherine and I have been friends a very, very long time. And she's just an incredible artist. She's also the artist of the legendary Mythical Goddess Tarot. And I mean legendary, one of the best-selling decks for years and years and years. I'm going to hold this up again, and I'm going to put it a little bit closer so you guys can... Man, I'm really not great at this. So... the reason I bring up this drum today is because, man, it didn't take too long earlier in the week, and I started to see synchronicities in a way that is so hyped up, so amped up, so just more than it ever has been. There's something going on out there in the universe, and that means for you too. And here's why this drum makes sense, and here's why your spirit animal of today is a lot of a lot of different beings. It's Mother Gaia, it's bears, it's me, it's you, it's Catherine, it's the universe that is your spirit animal today. And let me tell you why I say that, because that is a big claim to make when you are talking about spirit, totem, and power animals. Now, today is Wednesday. That's the bridge day, the day between, you know, the first of the week, the last part of the week. It is the solar plexus chakra. It is, I'm going to hold this up again. And, you know, Mercury is the ruler of today, and that's the dude who brought messages from the heavens to the mortals here on Earth. And the numerology of Wednesdays is 5, the sacred number 5. Earth, air, fire, water, spirit, which is interesting because when I was told by the animal allies today to, you know, yes, I could just introduce you to the drum and put it away, right? I could easily do that because a bunch of you have asked me about it on Facebook, and I could do that, but I was told, oh no, it's about the story behind the drum. It's about synchronicity. It's about I don't know, just so much stuff. So I'm going to try to get through as much as possible. But first, before we do that, if you're in a place where you can just take a deep breath and you can relax and you can close your eyes, and you don't have to close your eyes, you know, if you just want to relax, I want you to hear something because this is going to be part of today. Now I'm going to put the drum away. Here's why I wanted you to hear the drum first and foremost. For me, it's the timbre of the resonance of the drum. It's a very deep, resonant, deeply layered, not quite a baritone, but bordering between tenor and baritone. And that that appeals to me in terms of drums. Um, it appeals to me. I'm more of a wind instrument person until because I have eschewed getting a drum for years. You know, people in the shamanic space look at me like, you don't have a drum? No, I'm not a drummer. They irk me when I sit in drum circles. It disturbs my demons, and it I don't like it. Now you sit me in a circle with a wind instrument or whatever, I'm all over it. I'll stay there for days and days and days and days. Now, having said that, let me say this: when I was told by the animal allies it was time to get a drum, I was like, I had to sit with that because I wanted to be super sure that I wasn't hearing what I was hearing just to be part of the show, or be more accepted as a shamanic practitioner or a shaman, or that's not like me at all, really. But I wanted to be sure. And it was when I heard the thrumming in my head, and it was when a friend of mine said, listen, drumming is the heartbeat of Mother Earth. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. But it hit me kabam right in my heart chakra. So the first thing is that if you are all of a sudden wanting something that you've never wanted before, or you want to take another look at something that just really seems odd for you or out of place for you, take another look at it. There might be a synchronicity lining up for you. And I know with me it did, because what I believe will happen to you if you will do this is, once you sit with that synchronicity and the sound, the resonance of that synchronicity, I heard the sound of that drum, exactly that timbre, exactly that everything, exactly that tone, before Catherine ever ordered the skin. Now, that was the other thing. That is an elk skin. Oh, I spun and I spun and I spun and I spun and I spun. You all know how I feel about animals. And there are all kinds of drums out there you can get that are synthetic, that are this, that are that. But I heard a bunch of them. I didn't find any that had that resonance. I just didn't. And Catherine's been making drums and leading shamanic circles and practicing shamanism for decades. And she was like, you're never going to find it. So I was assured that it is an ethically sourced elk skin. And so I went ahead and I did it. I did not talk myself into this. As a matter of fact, I fought against it. It with inside of myself. But there was a part of me that finally, it's not that I didn't realize. I've always known this. I just haven't accepted it. I've actually literally hated it, deplored it, eschewed it. Pick a word of negativity to just stop it, get it out of my sphere, whatever. The using of animals for anything. For pets, if they're used for a pet. Certainly not to go down this rabbit hole, but food and leather and all that kind of stuff. There are always better ways to do things had we ever but tried. And we're trying now, and that's awesome. But there was something that about this drum and the elk skin of this drum that finally made me come to peace with that, with my animal beliefs, and not wanting a drum made out of animal skin, and the rawhide that that this is wrapped in, or the leather that this is wrapped in, the whole 9 yards, right? And what I finally realized was, it's an initiation for me to step more fully into the energies and the cycles and the synchronicities of the natural world. There are parts of it I just don't like. I always say I dream of a better way, a better world. I know it's coming. And this is not about me. This is about you. This is about what are you trying to be initiated into, and what synchronicities? What is the purpose of you taking another look at something that you've gone, no, 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 like a 2-year-old, no, because that's what I did. I never ever I just shut the walls down. As I think back on it, I was just so rubbed the wrong way from the very beginning, and I kept being rubbed the wrong way until it amplified and amplified and amplified. I never sat to try to receive messages about the other side of the coin. So it finally hit me. I mean, called thunk on my head. And I thought, okay. So of course, the first person I called was Catherine. She's the only person I would call to make this drum. And it was a process. It was a process. It took months to get this drum, and it was a process. And that's all I'll say about it. But a more powerfully, emotionally, energetically, magically charged drum, I could never get in this lifetime, ever, ever. Because the process, the synchronicities, the messages, the magic that unfolded, just, I knew exactly why. It was a much larger story than Bernadette having a drum and leading circles with drum or flute, if I ever actually learned to play my darn flute, which is really what I want to do. Of course, I say that, but like you all, if I really wanted to do something, I'd carve out the time for it. You know, people make time to do what they really want to do. You know you do, I do. And so, you know, I'll figure that out one day. And I'm sure you'll figure out what your blocks to what you think you really want to do are. But here's the story about this process and this drum. The lessons, the healing, the forward momentum in higher level communication, the bond, the bond strengthening of friendship, soul sistership that this drum facilitated. It, at this point, it's not about the drum. It's about all the rest of it. Now I love that drum. Make no mistake. I'll beat that. When I go to get the mail today, I'm gonna carry that drum and I'm gonna beat that thing up and down my street. You watch me, I sure will. Because I love it. And the neighbors always wonder what I'm up to. I think I'm an enigma to my neighbors, except for the one, anyway, the one that gave me the one that got me to St. Francis. So today is really a day for you to take a look at synchronicities. It's to listen to the drumbeat of your heart. It's to listen to the drumbeat of Mother Earth and the spirit animals and the universe. What are you being called to take a second look at? Now, you know, Catherine very wisely, I said, that's a really interesting way of you to paint that bear and me, because all of the other shamanic spirit animal, totem animal, power animal things, spirit, you know, like soul portraits, she does these amazing soul portraits. There's a picture of mine right there that she did for me 12 years ago, 13 years ago. I treasure it. I watch it every single solitary day. It sits right next to me on my wall. And, you know, it's the bear, the way she does other drums and paintings or whatever, one half is the person and one half is the animal that she sees for them. Well, of course she knew it could only be bear for me, right? She knew that it would be a fool's errand to paint any other animal in there. So, but I've never seen her do that where the other side of someone's head, the animal is wrapping around them. And she said, well, I see you as emerging from the bear because you really are a bear. At your core, you are a bear. So I don't see that you're split with bear. I just see that when you want to show up as Bernadette, you step out, you transmute, you metamorphosize, you turn into a human for the moment. And when you're finished being that, you climb right, you merge right back in and you go on about being a bear. Hear the silence? I don't even know what to say to that. She's right. She's right. I'm so invested in spirit, totem, and power animals and animals, period. I forget I'm human sometimes. And sometimes I deliberately don't want to believe I'm human. And I know that happens to a bunch of y'all. I know that you probably dare not breathe a word of this to folks because they'll think you're slap crazy. But I know there are those of you that know your earth angels. And that's a, you know, that's a big, bold claim to make in this world. You know, I know I'm an earth angel. People look at you like you've got an ego the size of 55 narcissists. Now, that doesn't mean it's not true. If you say, I know I'm an alien, they'll look at you like you've grown a third eye. and you actually have one. So, I mean, I could do this list all day long, but at the end of the day, I am more comfortable with animals than I am with humans. And I know all the psychological reasons that humans say that is. Believe me, I know. That doesn't take away the spirituality of it. That doesn't take away the belief of it. It should not take away the belief of whatever you feel like you truly are. That whoever you really are, you just step out of that to be human for a little while in your day, right? I believe your days will go much better for you if you would consider that. Now, having said that, let me say this. I just don't know any other way to put this other than there is something big coming for everyone, especially for the wild pack. And I know that because I've watched. I'm a diligent watcher of online communities, a diligent watcher. You all don't behave, communicate. You don't do anything like other online communities do. You don't. You're kinder, you're more compassionate, you're more aware, you're more intuitive. Now, I'm not saying we're the best, okay? Please don't, if you, I'm sure, and there are many, I belong to a lot of online communities I just love. But in terms of the volume of people that are all of those things and more, I just have never seen anything like y'all. So I know this message is for all of us. And there's something really big coming if you'll pay attention to the synchronicities. Now, I want to get back to the number 5 for a second. In my deck, in the Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck that I read from, the Queen of Pentacles is bear. And that's 5, right? Okay. So there's this whole correlation with today was the day I was supposed to talk about the bear. Hops is, if you guys can hear Hops, I'm certain you can. She's my twofer, my half Chihuahua and half pot belly pig. And she's just given hell to whatever is not out there. There's nothing out there. Except for squirrels that she can't see. But anyway, she can sense them. Where I'm going with this is a serious message, y'all, in the most amazingly positive way. Let me tell you why. Along with all of this and the synchronicities and whatever, I made a pretty sizable investment, for me, a sizable investment a few weeks back. Then I watched that investment go, whoosh, but it's temporary. And I know that it's temporary. And I know that because I checked in with Spirit before I made the investment. I know that because in following up on this investment, I happened upon a YouTuber who's just getting his start, who talks about his specialty is the very thing I made the sizable investment in. And when I tell you the deep dive this old boy took into this thing, I just sat there with my jaw open. I couldn't watch it enough times. And I keep waiting every day for my notifications to ding that he's made another video. But here's what really got me right in my gut. All that guy could say was, I'm connecting the dots. Do you see how to connect the dots? Connect the dots. What do we say all the time on this channel? Connect the dots, connect the dots. Ladybug taught us that. And she's every 50 million signs of good fortune, abundance, the whole 9 yards, right? Okay. Connecting the dots is just about the same as synchronicity. And I've read the whole, I haven't read the whole science, but I read a lot of science about the theories of synchronicity. You know, the more that you look for things, the more they show up. Okay. Could that possibly be the law of attraction? Could that possibly be manifesting your reality? Could be. No one said it's not. No one can prove one way or the other on either front. You know, there are all kinds of theories and all kinds of scientific hypotheses are out there. They are. But I'm going to really encourage you again to read Dr. Dean Radin's book, Entangled Minds, and also read his book, Real Magic. I've read a lot of documents, a lot of books on the science of psi, and his are in my top 20. It's no joke, y'all. And it's no joke. Now, this video has gone a little bit long today, and I know that. but there's something big happening for you in the most positive way. Even if today you look up, you wake up tomorrow morning and go, oh, and something has fallen what you think is completely to smithereens. No, it hasn't. Give it time. Trust. Look for the synchronicity. Look for the signs about what to do from there. I was told just sit around. La 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 la. It's a waiting game. La 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 la. And when I can announce it, when it happens, all I could say is my mom and my grandma will be up wherever they are dancing a jig, doing, I mean, it's craziness. It's the stuff dreams are made of. So I hope that was helpful. I can't begin to tell you how much I love each and every one of you, truly. And I send prayers and blessings out to you every day. And now I'm going to do it with my drum in the mornings. We're going to sit on my porch. And I'm just going to send you, I don't even know what vibration I'm going to send out. But listen for the sounds. Look for the synchronicities. Accept them when they come. Connect the dots. Do all of these things. And I can't even imagine what's going to unfold for you here shortly. So, pick up your copy of the Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle deck, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the bell so you get the notifications, get on over to my personal forums, wildpackwisdom.com/forums. But above all else, and the most important thing, do good for animals, including yourself, and stay wild.